Just letting you guys know, a new episode of my podcast, No Bleeps, will be out tomorrow. We are diving into an uncensored version of everything going on with Jeffree Star, so be ready for that. Hey guys, it's Spilly and welcome back to Spill Sesh. We're talking about the Dolan twins coming out to address drama between them and their friend Ryan, who ended up making a video about them because he was receiving so much hate from the Dolan twin fan base, and the Dolans were not defending him, so he decided to come out with a video to explain why he was no longer living with the Dolan twins and basically explaining what went wrong and the reason why he got kicked out of the Dolan twins' home and is no longer living with them. Now, I want to add, the Dolan twins said that they did not kick him out, that it was a mutual agreement, but we are going to get into all of this. The Dolan twins came out with a video form version of their podcast. It is titled Taking Ownership Deeper with the Dolans. And a lot of people were waiting on this because for honestly months now, people have been waiting for the Dolan twins to kind of, I guess, like address why they keep getting in drama. I've seen a lot of comments more recently of people being like, I can't believe the Dolan twins are in drama. Like, what happened? And in this podcast, they kind of admit that they thought being in drama was cool and they were getting all these views from it and they were happy to be in the drama, honestly. But now that I think it's affecting their personal relationships because people are getting more of an inside look at their life, the drama is not so much fun and it's really affecting them. And I don't know if they mean they've been in drama, meaning like people have been talking about them in terms of, I know people were mad that they were clickbaiting about the James Charles drama that was going on, the accusations that were, being thrown around. I don't know if that's what they were talking about, but they thought being drama was cool, because that's not cool to me. But they have been doing these more long form vlogs and trying to show more of their life, and although that is what people really wanted to see them be themselves, they're now kind of saying that they were trying to turn it on for the cameras and that they were acting a little bit more dramatic for the cameras. But honestly, you guys, their friend Ryan is telling a kind of a different story. And if you guys have not watched my 17-minute long video, I know it's long, but it is basically a full analysis of the 30-minute video that their friend Ryan made about what happened with his friendship with the Dolan twins. First of all, he says that he still loves them like a brother, but if you guys have no clue what has gone on in the past couple of weeks between them, the Dolan twins invited their friend Ryan from New Jersey to come and live with them. They've been friends for 15 years, and Ryan's video, he said that they had requested him to come live with them because Logan Paul was doing that wrestling and influencer situation competition. They had him come out because he wrestled in college and they wanted him to be their wrestling coach. And so he came out, he said he's gonna live with them now, and they offered him a position to be a co-host on their podcast, and they told him that he should drop out of school and all this stuff. All of a sudden, not even a couple days into them living together, there's a vlog that they put up and they're basically saying they feel uncomfortable in their own home and they just don't know how to act and they feel just on edge and paranoid, all because he sent 2 heart emojis to a girl on Snapchat who happened to be a fan of the Dolan twins. And the twins saw it on Twitter that she had tweeted that she was excited that Ryan had replied to her. And so the twins were like, yo, you can't do that. You can't talk to fans. Like, we feel like you're using us, all this stuff. He had to go private on Snapchat, unfriend all the people that liked the Dolan twins on his Snapchat. Mind you guys, they've been friends for 15 years. I really truly think that if he was going to ever clout chase, he would have done it back when the Dolan twins were at their peak, or I don't know, like any other time. But Ryan said, and this girl said, that she had honestly been friends with Ryan on Snapchat for 2 years already. So it wasn't like he moved in, he added her and added a bunch of fans because now that he's living with the Dolan twins, he thinks he's so hot. It wasn't like that. He had already been friends with her and he was just replying to a Snapchat and she was just excited about it. And everyone was like, the twins were overreacting. They were not happy with their reaction. And so the twins ended up having to delete the video because they got a lot of hate for how they were treating Ryan. And the second incident we did not see on camera, but basically Ryan was just all of a sudden like no longer in the videos anymore after they went to New Jersey, because after this little fight, the twins and Ryan flew to New Jersey. They flew back home And then all of a sudden Ryan wasn't in the vlogs anymore, and Ryan started getting a lot of hate. And a lot of people were wondering if he was a cloud chaser, if that's why he got kicked out. So he made a video to basically say this is what happened. And once they got to New Jersey, he said that the boys did everything on impulse. This was a very impulsive trip, so everyone was kind of like on edge already. Basically, Grayson had invited a girl to come out to Jersey, fly out, and hang out with all of them. And at this time, like, all three of them, like Ryan and Ethan and Grayson, had all been friends with her for years. So it wasn't like some random girl. And Ryan said that he got some bad news on the phone with his mom, and he was feeling really upset. This girl saw that he was upset. She was like, oh my gosh, like, let's go for a walk, like, let's talk it out. And then they came back, and he said Grayson and Ethan were waiting for him in the kitchen, and they said, like, that can't happen. And Grayson was just so upset out of jealousy, and he was just very angry, gonna throw hands, like, very aggressive. That's how Ryan was describing the situation. And he ended up leaving, and they weren't going to live together anymore. He went back to his own parents' house, and later that day Ethan had texted him like, love you, man, like, you're our triplet, our brother, let me come over. And Ryan thought that Ethan was coming over to talk out the situation and work things out. And instead, Ethan came over to ask him to go through his phone to see if he had any dirt on the twins. And this part I know is true, because in this podcast where they're addressing all of the drama, the one part that they really did admit to was that, you know, Ethan said he regrets asking to go through the phone, that his paranoia and his OCD got the best of him in that situation. They did not discuss the girl coming, why they got into that fight. It was really brushed over, and a lot of newer comments are agreeing that it feels a little brushed over. The part that the Dolan twins did argue, though, is that they said they felt like their mental health was being spoken on their behalf against their consent. Grayson said he was painted out to be this really aggressive person when he did not raise his voice at all during the conversation, and nobody was kicked out. They all came to a mutual agreement that they just couldn't live together, they couldn't make it work, so they all mutually agreed to not live together anymore. Now, I don't know, I feel like when you've got two people that are angry at you and it's like 2 against 1, you probably feel a little bit like kicked out. Anyways, I think the part that a lot of people thought was crazy was that the boys had asked him to do all this stuff and drop out of school. And if he had done that, he would have had no backup. And for being friends for 15 years, people were just like, what? How can you do that to a friend? But the Dolan twins are taking some ownership in this by saying that they realize that they really need to change, and that the twins did admit that they were the root of the problem and they were willing to take ownership. They really want to make a change for themselves and for their channel, for their mental health. They want to only preach positivity on their channel, and they don't want to be in drama anymore. Now, this is the thing, you guys, I like the Dolan twins. I think they've got some stuff that they need to handle, and they're admitting that in this video. They're opening up about issues that they're going through, struggles that they're having, struggles that they're working through, struggles that they're working out professionally. And I think it's great that they're open to this kind of conversation. I hope that when they say that they're going to try to make this positive content on their channel, it's not like how it was a year ago when they were saying that they don't want to make videos anymore because they feel like they have to put on an act. They should just be themselves. You know, you don't have to be positive and you don't have to be dramatic. You can just be you. And I hope that they don't force positivity. Like, if they're going through something, they should be honest about it. But also in this situation, I said it in my last video, you know, there's obviously multiple sides to the story, the twin side, Ryan's side, and what actually occurred, because they're going to interpret it very differently. It seems like the twins really struggle with friendships, and that's no lie, like, they're admitting that. I mean, it's very clear, like, if you have to go through your friend's phone and you've been friends for 15 years, there are some serious trust issues there. And for them to, you know, get upset about 2 hearts on a Snapchat, and you know, for him to go on a walk with this girl, I mean, they never gave their side to that, but these are very much red flags, and I'm glad that they're working this out. But a lot of people feel as though they really brushed over this situation. I mean, it was like halfway through the podcast that they really started to discuss the Ryan situation. They talked at great lengths about what they're going through and what they're experiencing. Anyways, at first, when I was watching this video and it only had like 100,000 views, all the comments were positive. They were really positive and people were like, thank you so much for addressing this. Thank you for taking accountability. And now that I'm watching it right now, you guys, all the comments are kind of changed. These are the top comments right now. Something's off. Everyone's so quick to praise them, but stuff isn't adding up. I feel like a lot of what you're saying about what happened with Ryan has been very brushed off. There was a lot more detail to his story, and I feel like your perspective is very brushed off and, quote, it's all good. You treated your friend like, and I hope you guys really take responsibility. This isn't the first time this has happened. I feel like you're trying to save your butts because you got called out for being mean. I get that everyone makes mistakes, but it's taking proper responsibility for your actions that is us as followers and him as your friend want to hear. Someone else said, I hate to say it, but this is hardly taking accountability. You begin the video by setting up a sympathy card about how hard your life is and use that to excuse your actions towards Ryan, but nowhere in the video do you acknowledge how you made him feel and how you affected his mental health. I'm in no way doubting the fact that you have a hard life. I can see that for sure. But if you want to take some actual accountability, try putting yourself in his shoes and asking yourself, if someone treated me like that, how would that make me feel? Someone else said, don't they also realize that Ryan was getting an extreme amount of hate and they weren't defending him from the fans? I feel like Ryan didn't really have a choice. You guys, the situation is completely just all over the place. It's a mess. I honestly don't really know where I personally stand on the situation. I just kind of feel bad for all the parties involved. Like the Dolan twins, the fact that they view friendships as something that is so scary and something that needs to be monitored and something that, you know, they need to protect their life so much that they have to monitor their friends like that. I just feel bad. I just feel bad. And as far as Ryan, for someone that has been friends with someone for 15 years, I can't even imagine getting treated like that and getting kicked out and people getting mad at you over nothing because they have trust issues. I hope that they can apologize behind the scenes because when Ryan made his video, they were not taking accountability personally to him. So I don't know, you guys, this is, such a mess. It's extremely difficult to talk about it. I just kind of want to let you guys know what Ryan said, what the Dolan twins said, and what other people are saying. So anyways, I love you guys so much and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye guys.